Another year in the books, another Youtinees on the channel. Everyone, it's the best night of the year. Last year, technically. It is the 2022 Youtinees Awards. We are here. You are here. We are ready to give out some awards. Without any further ado, Wes, punch it. And welcome to the Living Force, a Youtinee Network podcast that tonight is all about awards. That's right, my friends. It is the 2022 Youtinees Awards, celebrating the best and brightest in all Star Wars comics and more. I am one of your hosts this evening, Eric Eilerson, and joining me, looking spiffy as always, is the full cast of characters, including the one, the only, the man who also voted for all these awards, Dr. Corey Helton.
Hello there. Oh, I didn't see you there. I was just enjoying the wine in my lounge, Hello. Welcome to the Youtinees, everybody. I got my Imperial officer hat on that I won.
Incredible.
It matches your vest pretty well, man.
It really does. You look great.
Olive suits me, Olive suits me.
It is. Well, all of you, buddy. So glad you're here.
Yes. Thank you.
And also, of course, what would this be without the ever spiffy suit wearing, but in his own house, as opposed to the old Youtinees, Dr. Charles Hankel. Hey, buddy.
That's right. What's up, guys? I had a reason to dust off the tuxedo. Always a fun occasion. This is actually the first time I've worn this since med school.
Well, and I would argue this is even more important to your future.
I agree.
Excellent. As long as we're all on the same page here. But of course, this would not be the Youtinees, quite literally, without the man behind the buttons, and you all will see that in full action tonight. The mythical, the legendary, the studly, as I may say, and the hat-tipping man, Wes Jenkins.
I didn't get the hat memo, guys.
Howdy, everybody. Yes, I wore my best cowboy best. And this suit does not fit. I can barely breathe. If you can't tell, this has to be, I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Let it out or add some extra fabric to it, but it works sitting down. Welcome to the Youtinees.
Don't let it out, Wes. We're live. Leave it in.
No, hey, as SZA said, I need a big boy, and etc. Yes, everyone, if you're listening on audio, hi, we love you all. If you'd like, head on over to the YouTube channel and see Wes give his best. Dave Filoni. Good point. In the chat. Wes, make sure you put Ahsoka in every award tonight, or else it's not real.
All right.
Everybody, hello, all our friends in the chat. We have people I see here from Discord, from Twitter, from all over the Youtineeverse. We're so happy to have you all. Tonight is all about celebrating the best and brightest of 2022. We're going to get into that right away. Before we do, I want to let you all know about some other amazing things coming up this week. You may know that here at Youtinee, we have a couple lovely shows that we are very proud of, and one has been away for a while, but it was merely resting. That's right. Our friends at Legends Look Back are coming back from hiatus this week on Thursday to give us a little bit of a reveal on the race to the finish. That's right. If you're a Legends Look Back fan, you know that 2022 was a year of finishing as many Star Wars books as possible and racing to the end of the Legends line. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to tune back in on Thursday night or in your podcast provider to the Legends Look Back crew. Very happy to have them back here on Thursday. And also want to give a shout out to our sister show, The Star Wars Archives, which just recorded an episode for our patrons over at Patreon that is looking ahead at 2023. Just as we look back at 2022, we got to look ahead at 2023 because last I checked, hold on. Yes, they're still writing books. Okay. So books are still going to come out in 2023, so there's still plenty of Star Wars coming up. But of course, to listen to that episode, you do want to be on our Patreon, and we want to give a thank you to everyone who is over there at patreon.com/Youtinee, including Lane Hickerson, who joined us this past week just in time for the Youtinees. See, you knew it was coming up. You knew the R2 suit was coming out of mothballs. Not literally, I just moved. They're not in mothballs yet. But you knew that this was all coming out. So thank you, Lane. Thank you to everyone at Patreon. Make sure you check out those archives episodes. Make sure you check out all that good stuff. But most of all, make sure you check out Patreon so you can support everything we do here at Youtinee, including these glorious awards. All right, guys, fastest intro we've ever done. What do you think? Pretty good?
Very good. Very
Very
good.
good.
Do I get a Youtinee for that?
Something
Is that how
Charles
this
looks
works?
forward to, those fast intros during
Right.
the
Take your
during
time.
the
It's not a round
table.
table. We're fine.
Absolutely. Well, what it is, everybody, is the Youtinee Awards. And while I love all the stuff we do here, I want to get through that intro because it is time for the award show itself. If you are here, I hope it's because you voted for the Youtinees. We had polls open throughout the entire month of December. Guys, I'm going to put you on blast right now and ask you, one, if you voted, and two, which category are you most excited for tonight? Because we had a few close races, which we'll talk about in a second.
We did. I definitely voted this year. I vote every year, as is my democratic rights in this imperial society. I am always very excited to talk about Social Butterfly because I feel like it's a small award to give out to folks who maybe don't get enough credit during the year for the amount of content they give us over on the Twitters, which may be coming to a swift end. But it's always exciting to chat about the sort of meta of the Star Wars books, if you will.
I love that. Yeah, Social Butterfly, one of those that was very popular last year. I believe Kevin Scott was our Social Butterfly last year. And of course, a reminder, no past winners in their respective categories may win again. So we'll see who gets it this year. Wes, what about you? What secrets are hiding under that hat? For your favorite category?
I would like the more detailed oriented of the content, and I like book cover of the year because I like pretty colors, and the ones so the one that catches my eye is the one that I voted for, and I hope that it got the Youtinee for 2022.
Well, I hope so. I mean,
Pretty sure it did.
If nothing else, Wes, you're my book cover of the year because you catch my eye every week, buddy. Always glad to look at you.
I love that. Very good.
They just come easily. Before I ask you, Charles, I want to highlight some in the chat here. We got some Social Butterfly love. Jared pointing out that Social Butterfly is a very hard award because you got to survive the hellscape of Twitter. Great point. Or Jacob did, sorry. You're right. Also, Jacob Cavan was author of the year, and DJO was Social Butterfly last year. We got book of the year people are excited for. Quote of the year from Casey Murphy. Charles, what are you excited for our 2022 awards?
Yeah, I'm gonna say comic of the year. And that's mostly because I'm not a big comic reader. And so I need to know, what am I missing? What do I need to go back and read? So I need the people to tell me, what is the comic of the year? What should I have read?
I like that. And you heard it here, folks. Charles is contractually obligated to buy with the Youtinee affiliate link the comic of the year. That's what I'm just saying.
And post it on Twitter so we know that you actually did it.
That's right. Screenshots. Don't lie to me, Charles.
With the newspaper of the day that you bought it.
Anything else?
And a banana for scale.
Perfect. Well, before we get into the awards themselves, as I know you're all waiting for, I do want to give you a few fun facts about this year's Youtinees. This is the third annual Youtinee Awards. We're getting bigger and better every year. This year, quite literally. Last year, we had 234 votes for the Youtinees. Pretty good. We always want to make sure we're doing a fair job at letting everyone vote as they will. This year, that number almost tripled to 610 votes for the Youtinees. So by this rate, we'll be in the millions by year 10?
Next year. Next year,
next
4 million
year.
Next year, easy.
It
I think
exponentializes.
that's how the curve works, right?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
upwards,
Exactly. Well, everyone that did vote, if you're one of the 610, good for you. You don't get a sticker or anything yet. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it in the future. Maybe we'll do like an NFT if you vote for the Youtinees. That's not true. But we hope that you feel represented. We hope your votes win. And I will say, every single vote counted in the Youtinees. And I'm not just saying that. As the official tabulator, the unimpeachable tabulator of the Youtinee Awards. That's me. I do want to say one category this year was decided by 3 votes out of 610. 3
Wow.
votes.
That's impressive.
It is.
And one category was decided by 1 single vote.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Are you going to tell us
That's
which one it
incredible.
is when it
Oh
comes
yeah,
across?
I'll let you know what it is. I'll let you know what it is.
And they say democracy doesn't work.
You saying that in the Imperial hat just gives it a context every time, and I think it works quite well.
It does. It's rigged.
So I gotta tell y'all, if you're listening and you were like, "Oh, I was gonna vote for the Youtinees, but I forgot," and your thing doesn't win, I'm not saying it's because of you.
I'm saying it's
I'm not-
because of you.
Wes is saying that absolutely. Yes, as Darth Maul says in the chat, I love democracy. I love the Youtinees. Well, one more fun fact before we get into the awards. Those were the close awards. The biggest landslide of the year, though, I did want to say there is one category where the winner got 40.4% of the vote out of the 5 nominees. But I gotta say, that's not bad because that means every single category, there wasn't a single category that got over 50%, which I think is great. I think that means our nominees were pretty solid around the board. So overall, very, very pleased. Thank you earnestly to everyone that took part in voting. And I guess that might be it. Do we want to see who won? Are we gonna do it? Should we do it?
No, I think
While
we should
we're
just end
here.
it now. You know, I just want to go back to
All
that.
right, the end of the
that-
show.
Send it out in a press release.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Gentlemen, raise a glass. If you're at home, raise a glass. The 2022 Youtini Awards
Very fitting. for me.
begin now with a word from our good friend, Matt Davenport. Take it away, Matt.
Hello and bright suns. Welcome to the 2022 Youtinee Awards. It's nice to see everybody got dressed up for the occasion. Man, oh man, we're looking at you, Dr. Charles Hankel, looking spiffy. Eric, on point as always. Corey, don't worry, your prom date will be here soon. Have that corsage ready. And Wes, talk about repping the Texas tuxedo. Very nice. Well, let's get into it. Let's start with the category of Character of the Year for the 2022 Youtinee Awards. And the nominees are Markion Rowe, Elzar Mann, Stellan Gios, Alvar Chris, and Orla Jareni.
Well, 5 picks.
All good.
5 picks.
All
5
good.
picks. Excellent choices. I will say, because we have already seen all the nominees for all of the categories. This was another High Republic year, fellas. High
Mhm.
Republic,
Very much.
clean sweep, just about, with just the number of sheer number of categories that the High Republic was represented in. Really incredible year for the High Republic, and it is a great honor to be the first person to reveal our character of the year. And I don't have an envelope or anything, but here's a random piece of paper. Let's just open the.
Oh yeah, struggling with it. Oh, yep.
All right, I got Here it is. I have the
Here it
winner.
is.
It's definitely not a guitar fretboard photo. This is the character of the year. I need one of those drum rolls.
And
Character of the year this year for the 2022 Youtinees Award is Elzar Mann.
Elzar Man!
Elzar Man!
Yes!
Very good, very good.
Ah,
Elzar
crap.
Mann, Tom Hanks of the High Republic, if you will.
That is Tom Hanks.
That is 100% Tom Hanks. You can't tell me otherwise. Very good, very good. I was very pleased to see this. I still can't believe that this happened this year. With the books that
Seriously.
we got this year. But Elzar Mann rode in on a dragon and won the award. Very good.
Great year for Elzar. I will say this was the category decided by 3 votes. This was very
Okay.
close. I gotta say my guy won. I voted for Elzar. I'll say it here. Yes, Gia, the dragon riding womanizing legend, Elzar Man. Though he did most of that last year, he still had a great year in the Fallen Star, especially. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was this a year? Maybe Chad will help me out. That he appeared in the Star Wars comic in that flashback as well. Great year for Elzar. Any guesses who got second place, guys? As I'm looking at the ballots here.
It's got to be Marky and Rowe.
I
gotta
would-
be.
I love Mark Enro. I'm always believe it or not, I have a soft spot for the villains. I know you guys would
Who
never
would've
guess that
thunk?
about me, but
That's the guy in the Imperial hat. Yep.
that's right.
You're absolutely right. Markian Rowe was second place by 3 votes.
That's right.
Yeah, great. Great category. Great year for the High Republic guys. Now this year, I assume we're gonna get them back in phase 3, so maybe they'll win the Youtinee next year, or Elzar can, I suppose. But that's it. First Youtinee of 2022. Thank you, Jacob. Star Wars number 20 came out in January, so Elzar technically had 2 great issues. But of course,
Okay.
what is a piece of Star Wars media without a bunch of moments? Huh. Maybe I should lead into our next category. What do you think, Matt? Where are we going next?
Our next category is Moment of the Year. Here are the nominees. Stellan Sacrifice in the Fallen Star. Estella Maru holding Starlight together in Marvel's The High Republic. Orla Jareni's fate in The Fallen Star. Yoda's entrance in the Battle of Corellia in Midnight Horizon. And finally, the Leveler revealed in Trial of Shadows.
All right. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, I'm so embarrassed. I lost the envelope. It arrived FedEx this morning. Oh wait, I memorized it though. All right. The moment of the year I'm gonna start doing this more. With 40.1% of the vote is spoilers. Should have said that earlier.
Sorry. Yeah.
Stellan's Sacrifice in the Fallen Star.
There it
And
is.
rightly so.
Yeah, that's got to be the one. I mean, I chose it, so it was right, obviously.
So it's correct.
Um,
Objectively.
But yeah, that was such a polarizing event that it's very hard to pick something over it. There were a lot of other. The nominees were great. They were great. They were all great moments, but this one all made us put the book down and just like a sigh of, and raise your glass to poor Stellan Geos, really just sacrificing himself.
Stellan Geos. Hey, spoilers, folks. If you haven't read the books, we're gonna talk about them on the show.
All of them from
All of
last
them.
year.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. You had a year. You had your chance, and so did Stellan. And he.
Careful.
Careful. Yeah, there we go.
Easy,
There we
steady.
go. That's right.
Yeah.
Steady.
This is the moment, I will say, the first moment in Star Wars book that physically made me cry. I remember where I was when I was reading it. I remember my emotional state. It's again, I read it, and then I had the audiobook as well. And I remember reading this chapter, putting the book down, going to the Audible, listening to Mark Thompson narrate it, because it was just so powerful. And this happened back at the beginning of the year, and nothing else topped it since. So I think the staying power of the awards, very anti-Oscars. Usually when you put movies in the early part of the year, they're not getting awards. So
That's right. Recency
really
bias
hardcore.
and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, real hardcore, but great moment. Great moment. All right. Charles, where are we going next?
Well, I think Wes mentioned earlier that he likes pretty colors. Isn't that right, Wes? And I
Oh,
think
yes, I
that
do.
is something to do with the
Famously.
next category.
They say you can't judge a book by its cover, but here at the 2022 Youtinees, we're going to do just that. Here are the nominees for Book Cover of the Year. Midnight Horizon, Path of Deceit, The Princess and the Scoundrel, the out-of-print edition of The Fallen Star, and Tempest Runner.
Wow. Okay, lots of good options. I mean, looking back at these, I know what I voted for, and that's what I'm expecting to win here. But there really were some good options. We had some great covers this year. Now,
I'm sorry.
that,
It's
Wes?
just I would have picked the biggest one that they showed, with the biggest picture?
The one
Because that gives you the most colors.
The one with the least words.
Surface area is really helpful in this category.
Well, my winner came in this fancy box here. So we're gonna look inside.
Oh,
We're gonna see,
I gotta come up with something.
ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Youtinee for book cover of the year goes to the out of print edition of The Fallen Star.
Wow,
Oh,
who
amazing.
would have
Of course it
thought?
does.
I know.
Surprise. Look at this thing.
This is the LeBron Finals MVP of the Youtinees. So this was the
right.
yeah.
This thing is
Yeah.
desktop backgrounds everywhere for months
That's right.
after
Oh,
it
for
came
sure.
out.
Yep.
That's
Easily.
right. This
Easily.
book was the this book cover was the equivalent of revealing who dies in the trailer before the movie even comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow the out of print returned.
That's right. Remember when they first introduced the Starlight Beacon? The first thing we said is, yeah, that thing is screwed.
It's going down.
And now we have it beautifully on a cover. And
Yeah.
I have to say, this was an excellent cover. The out of print editions, they always wow and impress us. And this particular cover is certainly no exception to that.
Yeah.
They really blew it out of the park with this one. I remember when they showed this before the book even came out, and we're like, huh, what was going to happen in this book?
Yeah, right.
And,
Yeah. Like that's
And,
not the big deal.
that's right. It certainly didn't let us down. That's for sure.
No, but really, truly, I think this is the best year of nominees we've had so far for the art of the book covers. They just keep going higher and higher. Now there were some books this year that may or may not have been slightly photoshopped press photos that were on covers that didn't make it in the Youtinees, but
Right.
other ones, really, really incredible. And also with all the alternate covers that we got in the High Republic last year were super great. And you know what? Shout out to Path of Deceit for just squeaking in at the bottom. So, really stoked, really happy with that. Gosh, absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So, next, set of nominees. Next award
Here it is.
is going to comic cover of the year. So we did book cover of the year. Now we're doing comic cover of the year. We're going to kick it over to Matt himself.
Now we move over to comic cover of the year. Here are the nominees. The High Republic issue number 12. The first issue of Eye of the Storm. Darth Vader number 26. Star Wars issue 25 variant cover. And issue number 2 of Eye of the Storm.
Whew. Sorry,
Well,
Eye of the Storm
gentlemen.
number 2 always gets me a little warm.
It does.
In there.
It does. It has something to do with the chain being around your neck as the reader. You know, there's something about that just speaks to me. I don't know what it is exactly, but
I don't know.
you know,
We got to
it's hard
figure that out.
It's hard to say. I don't know. I probably need
Outside of Darth Vader, Markion Rowe is the villain that we all love, and we want
Yeah.
him to succeed, or maybe just me, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That's why the cover's popular. That's it.
I think it's
only
it.
reason.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, and he's thirsty.
There it is.
So it's been left up to me to provide the winning ticket, and I don't have
It was left up to 610 people.
Is it
Wes.
in your-
Actually,
is it
to
in your
announce
hat?
it. I'm sorry to announce
It's
it.
in your hat, Wes.
It's in your hat. Don't you remember?
Is it?
Oh, what? What is that? Oh, what do you
Oh.
know?
What do you know? Okay. So the
Wow.
winner
That was something else, I gotta say.
comic cover of the year goes to Darth Vader 26.
We
Darth
hate sand.
Vader
Wow.
26. We hate sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. It doesn't
says,
matter how many younglings you've killed. It still sucks.
into the sand.
Sure don't.
Into the sand. This is Darth Vader's own personal hell, I have to say. This was a beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. I think Darth Vader has probably been given more incredible coverage in the comics, arguably, than any other character in Star Wars.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And especially in the newer canon stuff. And I think it's appropriate that he gets to be on the cover of the year for sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Just looks like he's pulling himself out of that. He's just like, it's on my hand and it's in my gloves.
This is what sand feels like, I think, most appropriately. Like when you go to the beach, it's like, it's in me.
That's right.
Yeah, it's almost, that image just shows you that you can feel it and not just see what's going on in that image. You're just like,
yeah.
That's right.
And shout out to Raza, who is the cover artist for that. Really great job. Again, I think the sand line often just gets memed and gets depicted as like, oh, it's silly and it's Attack of the Clones thing here and there. I feel like the last couple of years have really changed the tone around it. There's an idea of like, I hate sand because it represents how I grew up and was a slave and things like that. And this, I think this image could have really just been a meme, but I really think it's effective cover showing Vader trying to like escape his past. So very solid.
Yeah.
Very
That's
solid.
right. Strong mummy vibes too, I'll say.
Indeed.
Yes, absolutely. Great category. Although I gotta say, the next category, we're really getting into some of the meat and potatoes. Corey, one of our favorites coming up.
I do have to say, I truly do believe that this is my favorite category. You know, as a content creator in the Star Wars publishing space, I have to say that getting to shout out our authors and our publicity contacts just for being really cool people, genuinely, in person and on Twitter and online and the way they carry themselves. I really do like this award a lot, and that is the Social Butterfly. So let's throw it over to Matt, who can introduce our nominees.
Our next category is Social Butterfly. Here are the 2022 Youtinee nominees: George Mann, John Jackson Miller, Mike Chen, Kelly Knox, and Charles Soule.
What good people.
Good people. You know, Star Wars is good
around.
people, truly. It really is. It really is. This is always a particularly tough category, and it's always fun to see the nominations come in because, when we create these polls, we sort of wonder are people just going to choose their favorites, or are they going to choose the one that they just like the books that they wrote, that sort of thing. And it never fails. The community never lets us down. They generally do choose folks that they have really great online presences. And this year is no different. And it is a great honor to introduce this year's Youtinee for the Social Butterfly. And, I think Droid just happened to roll up and hand me the nominee. Like, look at that. Look at that. It's just like, here he is. Like, so he just spit this out like right in front of me. Oh, it's super weird how that happened. So the Youtinee, the 22 Youtinee for Social Butterfly goes to Charles Soule.
Charles Soule!
Hey, round of applause.
Very
on that one.
good. Very good. Strong bio picture as well, I have to say.
Absolutely. Good
background is
author
solid.
pick. Yeah.
Good lighting, good jawline. Charles Soule, you never let us down.
Yeah, I mean they're all great ambassadors for Star Wars and Star Wars books and literature, and just helping people get into the movies and even get into the books. But Charles Soule really he's a strong presence to especially in the community, in charity. He does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention with how bad social media continues to get, I swear it's getting worse. This award is more and more important. I mean, we need more bright lights out there. And thank goodness we have quite a few within the Star Wars community.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Never say we're not breaking news here on the Youtinees. 2022 Youtinees, breaking news. Social media is getting worse. Sorry to break this to y'all that you didn't know. But yeah, I think one of the things that makes I think Charles so great as a social butterfly is that he interacts with fans, but he also like elevates the brand, like you're saying, but he also keeps us up to date on like his other non-Star Wars projects too. I think like he's just himself, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's his other fiction works, whether it's just ideas about the world. His newsletter is great. It's just a really great way of kind of keeping in touch with the community. And I think everyone, if you've ever followed Charles Soule or read anything by Charles Soule, you feel this intensely personal connection. So greatly deserved, and all the nominees doing amazing things. Again, one of our favorite awards every single year. Now, our next nominee is honestly one of my favorites, and one that was mentioned in the chat earlier. Because what are Star Wars books and comics but just a bunch of quotes all back to back to back to back to back for hundreds of pages? Matt, tell us what the quotes of the year are that passed Corey's test.
Now let's move to the quote of the year. Here are this year's nominees. This is what hope is. It isn't pretending that nothing will go wrong if only we try hard enough. It's looking squarely at all the obstacles in the way, knowing the limits of our own power and the possibility of failure, and moving ahead anyway. That is how we must proceed with hope. From The High Republic, The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. Stellan held up one hand in farewell, wondering whether he would ever see Bel Zettifar again. At least in this moment, he'd been granted a glimpse of the great Jedi Knight Bel would become. The High Republic, The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. Through the mist, two silhouettes emerged, the glow of their blades giving off enough light to eliminate any doubt of who approached, of who could pull off something as impossible as this rescue. There stood Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, brothers in arms of the Jedi Order, and together they were unstoppable. Brotherhood by Mike Chen. This was Skywalker and Kenobi as they should be, a team built on emotion and intellect, bravado and control, fire and ice. Brotherhood by Mike Chen. The name tasted like tears on her lips, but it also felt like light. The way she felt about Lula was a physical presence in her body like the Force. The High Republic Midnight Horizon by Daniel Jose Older.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you. Reading a winner now after hearing Matt just like gloriously narrate those quotes.
I will try to rewind it back to get the right one.
My goodness. Yeah. Also, oh my god, the chat blowing up about this award. All of them hitting so hard. I do think these all passed the test.
Yeah, absolutely. This is always a tough category for me because you have to remember to like highlight quotes and pull them out and try to get them nominated and that sort of thing. And but it never fails. The quotes that make it into the running are always incredible quotes. And man, those quotes from Brotherhood, I gotta say,
right?
my heart
Fire
is there.
and ice.
Fire
my
and
heart
ice.
is there. My heart is there. It's gonna be a hard choice this year for sure.
Yep. One of our more even split categories. All of these quotes got a number of votes. People clearly love all of these. They're all so great. So while I may not be Matt, I'll try to do justice in revealing the winner. Hold on. I'm getting something. Brain blast! Okay, got it. Hashtag Jimmy Neutron fans. Quote of the year for 2022 is, this is what hope is. It isn't pretending that nothing will go wrong if only we try hard enough. It's looking squarely at all the obstacles in the way, knowing the limits of our own power and the possibility of failure, and moving ahead anyway. That is how we must proceed with hope. The High Republic Fallen Star by Claudia Gray, basically giving us all a roadmap for 2022, honestly. Like, this was how the year started.
That is correct.
Oh,
There's something about hope in Star Wars that when they utter the word, it just has so much power and authority every time.
Yes.
It seems like.
Yes.
There is a fantastic poster of Leia. Look, in a silhouette in the background says hope. That I wanted to get framed. It's the epitome of what Star Wars is. The whole franchise is about hope.
and it's so tough. Go ahead, Charles.
Yo, any of these quotes that feel like applicable to real life always hit me so much harder. Like, I love the Mike Chen quotes. Like, obviously, I love Brotherhood because it's Kenobi. Like, it's all my favorite stuff about the prequels. But these ones just kind of do edge it out even for me, because it's like, man, I'm going to take what Stellan said and I'm going to apply it to my real life. Like, yes, these books are escapism, but if you can take like lessons from them and actually apply them, I mean, that's top notch.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think it says a lot that 40 plus years later, after A New Hope, Claudia Gray is like, all right, I am gonna write a quote about hope and it's going to be new, and it's going to be impactful enough to win a Youtini. And I think that's like, because that could go wrong. You know, if you try to do something that the OT did all those years ago and make it her own, but that just shows the amount of talent we have going into Star Wars right now. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Wow.
Ugh,
Well,
so good.
we all spent a lot of time on roundtables in this past year, right? And so we all
Do
saved
we?
a lot of those quotes. I guess I'll speak for myself. Yeah, no, we saved a lot of these quotes, and we saved a lot of other things. At least I did. A whole lot of maybe my favorite part of all the roundtables, the very end, what we always have to finish up with, and that is the Easter eggs. So Matt, take it away with this year's Easter eggs.
Our next category for the 2022 Youtinees is Best Easter Egg. Here are the nominees. Mace Windu's Dantooine battle being mentioned in Brotherhood. Hot Chocolate's first canon novel mention in Shadow of the Sith. Stellan makes a sweet bun with powder and water in The Fallen Star. The errant Venture is mentioned in The Shadow of the Sith. Kai Adimundi's duel with Grievous mentioned in Brotherhood.
All right. Lots of good options. I remember exactly where I was sitting when each and every one of these popped up. Not really. There is a guest who's gonna read this winner off, guys. I
Oh
found
my God.
a little baby Grogu, and he's knitted, and he brought with him a message.
Goodness. How fortunate.
Uh-huh. Got it. All right, guys. So the best Easter egg for 2022, the Youtinee goes to hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Hot
Hot
Chocolate.
chocolate. I'd like to buy all your chocolate.
I remember when they invented chocolate. Lando Calrissian introduced me to it.
I always hated it.
Oh man.
Wow. Well, so this was a great one. This was a great poll, and we actually got a message, right, that we wanted to shout someone out about this award in particular, because we may have worded things technically incorrectly for this category a little bit,
Maybe.
right?
Just a little bit. Just a little
Slip of
bit.
the
Just a little
tongue.
bit. So it's not necessarily Hot Chocolate's first canon appearance ever, but it was the first in a novel. Is that right? I think we got an email,
Yeah,
right,
the
yo?
canon
That's
adult
correct.
novel properly first mention of hot chocolate. But yeah, Corey, tell me about, you got this email because when
That's
I
right.
wrote the category, I said it's the first canon mention.
That's right.
It's technically not.
The category did say the first canon mention of hot chocolate, which of course is a small nod to Heir to the Empire, where it was introduced that Lando Calrissian introduced Luke Skywalker to hot chocolate. Such a strange pool. Timothy Zahn talks about
Bless him.
getting like people being very angry that they mentioned hot chocolate in a Star Wars novel back in the day. And we originally had this nomination saying the first canon appearance of hot chocolate, because us and our infinite knowledge of Star Wars canon and legends and all the expertise we have on the team, which is a lot, quite frankly. Collectively, thousands of books have been read among the team. We missed this small detail, and it wasn't until about a week before the voting ended, I got an email from a member of our community, Kai Wright, who mentioned that the first actual reference to hot chocolate was actually in Servants of the Empire: Edge of the Galaxy back in 2014, which is right after the change to the Disney acquisition, when a nanny droid anti-nags offers some to Zer Leonis. I have no idea what this reference even is. And it also appears in Docking Bay 7 and Ronto Roasters at Galaxy's Edge. So it does have a couple canonical appearances now. And I wanted to give a special shout out to catching that small detail from
Amazing.
Kai Wright, because that is a deep, deep pull to recognize that And the fact that we had 500 or so votes before anybody caught that is pretty impressive. That is just a testament to how deep of a pool it is. So thank you so much for letting us know about that. And we did change the nomination just a little bit to say the first canon novel appearance, because this is in fact that. We did double check that. So that is true.
It's still a great moment. I mean, I remember reading this and like you said, that Heir to the Empire, if you have ever read Heir to the Empire, instantly you're transported back. Such a great pull by Adam Christopher, who obviously loves all of those books so much. And I think what a smart move to kind of put the reader in the mindset of that book, which is what Easter eggs are, right? As you're reading it, it makes you think about the stuff you used to love, and it's just such a fun
absolutely
thing.
And I will say that 2022 in particular was an incredibly big year for Easter eggs. I feel like we got so many this year. Adam Christopher had a ton, Mike Chin had a ton. It was a really, really good year for Easter eggs, and this was a close match for sure.
That's right.
And I'd like to say thank you. Sorry, thank you to Jared for being in the moment and having a peanut butter banana chocolate protein shake, which is kind of the same thing.
That's next. That's coming in the next book.
Close.
That was Timothy Zahn's original insertion in the Empire, and he changed it last minute. What are you drinking? Oh, a peanut butter banana chocolate milkshake, protein shake. Lando Calrissian showed it to me. We were working out earlier.
Luke Swolewalker getting his gains on.
No, but I do like about the Easter eggs in particular that a lot of them tend to be like these deep Legends pulls, right? And we do love all Star Wars here. Yes, we focus mostly on canon here on the Living Force, but obviously Legends Look Back is always going back and talking about all these awesome books and stories from at least a little while back. So I like that this year we got so many pulls, like so many Legends pulls.
Yeah,
they really are becoming, I don't know, the lines are blurring a little bit more every year, and they're pulling at least the best parts of Legends back into canon, which is nice.
And as far as we understand, it seems to be these Easter eggs seem to be a very collaborative effort. The authors pull some themselves, the editors pull some themselves, some other folks that are involved in the creative process offer suggestions for Easter eggs. So they're getting better and better at these. I mean, every time we do a roundtable, Charles pulls at least 2 or 3 insanely 10-layer deep pulls from Legends these days. And anybody who has not been anybody who's been on the fence about jumping into canon after all this time there's no excuse at this point, because it's basically Legend. So
it's all those West End game guides, Charles.
That's right.
Isn't the ones?
Those things are I mean, those things are absolute gold mines.
So if you like these Easter eggs, make sure you start writing them down for 2023 this year. But now we get into what I think we're starting to call now this year the Big Four. The Oscars, there's always the Big Four awards at the end of the show, and these are the real heavy hitters that kind of defined the year. So Wes, kick us off into our Big Four awards here.
This next award goes hand in hand with the pretty pictures that I like and the beautiful illustrations that are done, but also the content that's within those pretty pictures and illustrations. Matt, tell us what's next for the Youtinees.
And now let's move to the category of Artist of the Year. Here are this year's nominees: Ario Anindito, Harvey Tolabao, Phil Noto, Steve Cummings, and Paolo Villanelli.
So, Big Four starts out with Artist of the Year for comics, essentially. But, I mean, they also do other things than just comics.
But another, I would say, I'm looking at the pie chart right now, very evenly split award. The Comics Hive, especially a Star Wars Twitter hive of comics folks, so much love for all of these artists. Really incredible stuff.
That's right.
So, on my data pad that I got the number from, hold on.
I love this bit.
There we go. And I got there, it came through right now. The winner for Youtinees 2022 Artist of the Year is Ario Anindito.
Oh! Friend of the Cosmic Force?
Friend of the Cosmic Force, that's right.
Friend
What
of the
a
Cosmic
nice interview.
Force.
What
Yeah, and they-
Excellent headwear, I have to say.
really great hat.
Definite friend of the show for the headwear. And yes, like you said, he was interviewed by the Cosmic Force crew. So we
right.
actually
That
got
was
to
an excellent-
talk to him.
That was an excellent interview. I really enjoyed that. Probably my favorite comic interview that we've ever done at Youtinee. It was really
Oh, yeah.
enjoyable.
Mm.
Man, I think he totally deserved it this year. I mean, this was
Yes,
really
yes.
a strong year for artists in comics, especially. And I think he was the obvious choice. So very good,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, I mean, to have the impact in the end of the High Republic, I guess Volume 1 run, and then starting the Volume 2 run with that same kind of fun, exciting art style. I mean, some of these moments were just amazing. I think one of his images is still like my iPad lock screen of Avar Chris with everyone around her. Like, it's really just some incredible stuff. And like you said, could not happen to a nicer person.
Absolutely.
Love when those two coincide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of incredibly nice people, it is a great honor
Thanks,
to
Corey.
introduce. Did you like that? Did you like that?
It's you,
Yeah,
Wes.
that was for you, Wes. I'm talking about you. Shout out to Wes, everybody, for
Yes!
running this entire operation we
Yeah.
have.
No
This is
irony.
easily the most
My gosh.
technical, show that we produce, and it's going fairly well. Knock on wood. Yes, it is a great honor to introduce our next category, what we consider the big three. This is probably one of the biggest awards that we give every single year, and it's always a very tight race, and one that we take very seriously. We make sure the math all works out. We make sure we plan the nominations correctly. We've taken out all the biases that we possibly can, because this is an incredibly important category. So let's turn it over to Matt, who can introduce our next category for this year.
Let's move now to Writer of the Year. Here are the nominees: Claudia Gray, Charles Soule, Daniel Jose Older, Mike Chen, and Justina Ireland.
Now, this is an incredibly important category. Our Writer of the Year is always very important. And Wes, if you'll give me the camera, I'm happy to introduce this year's Writer of the Year. And I was just reading this really interesting book, that happened to come out earlier this year. And what is this? It's the winner. It's just coincidentally inside of this book. This year's Writer of the Year, in a very strange turn of events, is Claudia Gray in The Fallen Star. Shout out to our good friend, Claudia Gray. Very good. Excellent kickoff to the year. She killed everybody, but sometimes
killed the game. Look at that.
You could say that sometimes it pays off to be the villain.
She did it.
She definitely left us wanting more, even though a lot of people died in that. Spoilers. A lot of people died in that book. Okay, a lot of people died in it.
Everyone, you could say,
This feels like when Meryl Streep wins an Oscar, because everyone's like, "Oh, she's the best." Wait, has she won something? She's nominated all the time, and it's like, yes, Claudia Gray. Like, so many people's first foray into Star Wars somehow may have hit her popularity peak this year, even though she has been writing for so many years and has done such great work. And if you have had the chance to meet her, as well as all of these Writers of the Year nominees, by the way, just so kind and open, and just clearly loves Star Wars so much and puts everything she has into it. And someday that comic's going to come out that she's writing for Dark Horse. It's been delayed, I don't know, 8 months, but it's coming. It's coming.
right.
Is that what the only thing that she was able to give us is, it's coming, and that's it? And you're like,
soon, trademarks. Yes, absolutely. We have been accused many times at Youtinee for having a special preference for Claudia Gray, and that's right. There's a reason for that. It's because she's good. That's right. I'm sorry, she writes good books, and that's how it is. So we are very honored to give this award to Claudia Gray this year.
Yep. And I'm looking at the chat right now, and I have a lot of questions. They say, have we gotten to the category that was decided by one vote? And we have not yet, but now we have. Matt, introduce the category that was decided by one vote.
And now our next category is Comic of the Year. Here are the nominees. Trial of Shadows by Daniel Jose Older and David Wack. Darth Vader by Greg Pak and Raphael Ianco. Dr. Aphra by Alyssa Wong and Mingqiu Zheng. Eye of the Storm by Charles Soule and Guillermo Sana. And The High Republic Adventures by Daniel Jose Older and Harvey Tolabao.
A heated category.
Heated.
Just absolutely wild. Again, one of the great things about organizing the Youtinee is just seeing the votes kind of come in as the month goes on. And I was watching this category, and it was back and forth, and it was back and forth. Like, I think 3 or 4 comics had the belt at some point. And I will tell you, this was so exciting to watch with 21.9% of the vote, 21.8% of the vote,
No.
and 21.6% of the vote
That
are
is
the top
incredible.
3.
That's incredible.
But number 1, I do have to say, Darth Vader by Greg Pak and Raphael
Wow.
Ianco wins the Youtini Award for 2022, barely over Trail of Shadows in second place.
That is incredible.
Really
That is
incredible
incredible.
stuff.
I'm telling you, man, Darth Vader, he kicks everybody's tail in the comics.
Mhm.
Every single year, it seems like. Darth Vader is the character of choice in the comics. If you're a Darth Vader fan and you haven't been reading the comics, now is the time.
Yep. Honestly, I think a huge reason behind this was the year of Sabe and the Handmaidens coming
That's
into
right.
Vader.
That's
And
right.
Greg Pak had huge shoes to fill with Charles Soule killing those Vader runs and then coming in. But what a great comic. Huge shout out to Greg Pak and Raphael Ianco, especially for a lot of those flashback sequences that Ianco draws. Amazing artistry. And the chat absolutely exploding, of course, with how it's all going. But also a huge shout out to Trail of Shadows for not only being 1 vote behind the winner, but also for being a limited series and getting this many. All new characters only found in the comics. Not an ongoing series, a mystery noir novel, or comic rather, really unique stuff. And just huge shout out to both those books. But yeah, that was, I gotta say, there's a lot of things I love about this job and about this show, but ooh, what a fun result to get to.
Yeah, there's so much love for Trail of Shadows in the chat right now. I think somebody said, "Fight
Yeah.
me." I said another person's on the fly to the Netherlands.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I think we need to do. Wes, give me the one camera for a second. Here's what we gotta do. Here's PSA. Your vote matters. And you know who other votes matter? Everyone you follow on Twitter and all your friends. And in 2023, I want all the Youtinees voting to be spread across the Twitterverses and everywhere else. And I'm excited to see. I want to see campaigns. I want to see fan art. I want to see buttons of people next year. But great job to all the nominees. Thank you, Wes. I want to make sure that we get the word out to vote in 2023, which is an election year, as they all are in the Youtinees. But Charles, it's about that time, buddy. I think after all these amazing awards, you got to bring us home.
Is it time? Is my tie straight? Okay. Wait. Yep. There it is. Okay. So it is time. I'm really honored. I'm really honored that I am getting to present the last award, arguably, I'm going to say the biggest award. That's why we save it for last, right? It's one of the big 4, but this is the cover to cover best experience that we had throughout the entire year. So Matt, take us away for Book of the Year.
And now our final category, Book of the Year for the 2022 Youtinees. Here are the nominees. The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. Brotherhood by Mike Chin. Path of Deceit by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. And Midnight Horizon by Daniel Jose Older.
All right.
Thank you for
A
joining
lot
us for
of
the
good
2020
options there. Eric has a lot of them off to
They
the
are.
side.
The glory.
I have run out of creative ways. I've run out of bits, okay? But I did find this cute little elephant on my bookcase. So I'm going to just show this off for a second.
Great.
Just vamp a little bit, you know what I mean? I like this. Apparently an elephant with its trunk raised is good luck, in case anyone didn't know that. So good luck to all the nominees. But I've vamped enough, y'all. I've vamped enough. I know that's why everyone is here. They're waiting on bated breath. I'm really enjoying this moment. I think I might drag it out for another second. The book of the year goes to The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray.
Yes!
Very,
There it is.
very good.
Yes.
Oh
When
my
did this-
goodness.
When
Well
did this book
deserved.
come out? This came out in January,
Look at this.
didn't it? Of 2022.
Yes, it did.
Like just barely into the 2022 year. Destroyed us all.
Which
in
is
our
what
hearts.
happened last year, right?
It is what happened last year.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's so like stuck within our
Yep.
heads because it's right. It's the third book of the series. It
Yep.
is obviously killed off a lot of the characters,
There it is.
so it
Yep.
really hit us here. So
Big moment.
and it was written incredibly well. So
Right.
Mhm. Gosh, book of the year, writer of the year, quote of the year, character of the year, moment of the year.
Holy
Book cover.
smokes.
And most importantly,
that's right.
book cover of the year.
Sounds more like
That's
a
right.
rising star to me, guys.
Claudia
Hey!
Gray and The Fallen Star had a huge sweep at this year's 2022 Youtinees Awards. And Eric,
Mhm.
you did some work for us. Tell us what
I
you did.
I gotta say, I was really excited about these results, and I try not to share the results too early ahead of the show. Obviously, we want to surprise everyone, but we did have to share the results because we had a friend that wanted to call in, which is odd. But with a little surprise about this year's awards. So Wes, let's bring someone else in on the show to talk about the Youtinees here just for a moment.
Hello there, Youtinee. Apparently you guys have done me the honor of naming me the author of the year and The Fallen Star the book of the year. And I have to be honest, when you write that much character death, you are pretty sure that your reward is going to be like burning torches and pitchforks or something. I don't know if this means that all is forgiven, but I will dare to hope so. Certainly you guys' reactions and the way that the reading public has embraced the High Republic so much means the world to me. So thank you guys for voting for this, for reading the book, for taking the journey of the High Republic. We have a lot more good stuff to come.
I can't believe
Claudia
you
Gray
got
herself!
it.
Love
Oh
you.
my God.
Oh man, absolutely! What a huge honor! Thank you, Claudia.
Oh, it's
for that
amazing.
very, very
Yeah.
kind response. You certainly deserve the award this year. And like I said, there's a reason that the staff at Youtinee is such a big fan of Claudia Gray. She is a queen. There's no way around it. I mean, she's an excellent person. She's an excellent author, and even when she kills everybody, you still love her every time.
Yep. And I will say, just because I don't know if personal info wants to be out there, shout out to Claudia's publicity team, best in the game, who was nice enough to, I will say, transmit that message to Claudia after the voting was done, after it was, we did not plan this beforehand. Obviously, everything was voted, but just really incredible. And Claudia was so kind to take her time to accept the awards. But yeah, that my gosh, I don't think there's a better way to end the 2022 Youtinees
right.
than with the
That's
biggest
right.
winner. Truly honored, and every year I adore this show, and I mean, how are we going to top
very
it next
good.
year? We got to find
It's
out.
getting better and better. We did do physical awards this year. That's something else we wanted to bring up. We wanted
They're coming.
to. I was hoping to show them off on the show, that we would get them in person. We've just missed it. The shipping notification, I got it this week. It's like it's gonna be here tomorrow or something crazy.
Of
So
course.
we just missed it, but we did have really nice professional looking awards produced, and we're gonna send those to Claudia. She got 2 of them, right? So she gets
Yep.
2 of the
She
awards.
got both of them.
This
Stay tuned.
year, and both of those are going to be shipped to her. Last year, we made something really nice. It was the Youtinee logo with the evaporator. The British mail carrier destroyed it. It cost us a fortune. It costs Kevin Scott a fortune. It was just a disaster. So this year we had
Different.
very nice awards produced for us. So,
Yes.
Claudia, those will be coming your way. And congratulations. You certainly earned it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everyone that voted. And keep your eyes out, because I tell you what, as of now, the 2023 Youtinees are underway. We're getting ready
That's
now with content. Battle of Jeddah is already out.
Is that number
And,
one? Is that the first one we get to add?
It is. I think so.
That's
Battle of
it,
Jeddah?
Battle of Jeddah. That's the first one. And of course, the High Republic Volume 2 is going. Will that be Comic of the Year? And like I said, your voting and campaigning begins now, everybody. So all y'all, start telling your friends, get those votings ready. But fellas, before we get on out of here, one, thank everyone in this chat that's tuned in live. Thank you for making this, again, our favorite night of the year.
Yes, thank you.
Any final thoughts before we get on out of here after our third annual Youtinee Awards?
I
It gets
think
bigger every year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think 2023 Youtinees are going to be even bigger based on how we get the envelope to tell you the winner. Because these were...
That's it. We'll have envelopes.
This was a little bit of improv, but I think next year it's going to be something special.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of that was planned. I don't know if we've told the audience that, but that was
No, you don't say, Charles. No.
that was planned. The golden elephant was not in cahoots with this for weeks.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this was fun, guys. I enjoy getting dressed up. I enjoy doing this with y'all.
Yeah.
I enjoy how much the community has seemed to embrace this. Like, it's really exciting
Yeah.
that it grew in terms of votes. We've had a lot of people live tonight, and if maybe you're listening to this in a week's time, remember this time next year, we're doing this all again. So please tune in live, because it's a ton of fun to see everyone actually reacting. We want to see that. So thank you so much to everyone that's made this a big success.
And everyone in the chat saying now, an in-person show is next. You know what? I did move to the South. That's all I'm saying. We'll find out.
Keep
Next
buying your books
year.
on Youtinee.com, and we'll use that 2% to pay for Wes's plane ticket. There we go.
Everyone, thank you so much. And on that note, that will do it for the 2022 Youtinee Awards. Thank you to everyone that voted, everyone that tunes in. We will see you next week for a regular old Living Forest episode. We'll have a great time. A special thank you to Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, and Elizabeth Cloutier, Styling Chris Eilerson on our Alliance High Command. You can find us on Twitter at Eric Eilerson, at Corey M. Helton, at C. Henkel, at Boss West. And remember, on Twitter as everyone else, you need to vote next year. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor and host of the Youtinees, let's be honest. Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, who not only designs our regular overlays, but also all these custom overlays for the Youtinees. And Wes, who has done more work tonight than he will do the rest of the year combined. Thank you to Corey, Charles, and Wes for having a great ceremony with me. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. Thank you to Claudia Gray for her special little treat. And as always, may the force be with you.